Mic check, 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 mic check. What's good? What's good? What's good? What's good? Mic check, mic check, mic check, mic check. What's good? Shout out Christopher Perkins. Crucial K, I see you in the area. 40 the splatter, David Johnson. What's good? What's good? I ain't gonna hold y'all up too much, man. Let's go ahead and get straight into the content, man. Boy, when I say it hasn't been a death that's been so important since Tupac, in my opinion. I mean, I'm not trying to be funny, but when I say the death of Charlie Kirk has changed, and I think it's gonna change society, believe it or not. And I know y'all like, you talking crazy right now? Nah, I am not talking crazy. Because when I say somebody dying will make Congress go write a bill that you cannot condemn violence or any kind of what they would consider hate speech against a certain person, or now in this administration at least, your ass will be prosecuted for what is called hate speech. Yeah, I ain't lying. Y'all think it's a game? Well, in this live right here, I'm gonna show y'all the new bill that was just passed through the House that will now consider certain language hate speech. What's good, Dead Blacks? So that's something we're gonna go over. So man, since this whole, I ain't gonna lie, before Charlie Kirk died, I was starting to like Candice Owens just a little bit, because I could kind of understand where she be coming from a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Some shit she still do be, out of line or whatever, but from what I've learned is she's a, shock jock. She want to say stuff that's gonna shock you and stuff like that. And the more I kind of did research on her and Charlie Kirk, I realized they are part of the same organization, which is the Turning Point organization that Charlie Kirk had founded, and was financed by some old white dude that probably had the same type of ideology that he had, and we know that a lot of Americans had. Now, as I've been doing a little research, man, I ran across this guy. I ran across another guy that I'm definitely gonna do a little reaction to, and he tells his story, when he goes on a podcast. And he's a familiar name, but I'll get into that later. I'm gonna stick to one topic. So for the last 3 lives, we've been talking about the war on free speech. We talked about Jimmy Kimmel getting canceled, but he did get that reverse today, and Jimmy Kimmel will be back on the air. So that was a win for freedom of speech, the First Amendment. But Candice Owens is not sold on this guy to your left or to your right, whichever one it is, being the killer of Charlie Kirk. And a lot of MAGA and a lot of Trump supporters, a lot of people are not sold on that this guy is the shooter, because some new evidence has come out, and it's making the FBI look a real suspect. This is starting to look like a kind of John F. Kennedy situation. Now, before we get into the content or whatever, I want to make sure I say that I do not have hatred for Charlie Kirk. Like I said, I seen his work before his death. I seen it at the 20 versus the one Republican, the one that we did the reaction to. After I seen that, I wasn't disgusted by him or whatever. Here, he was the typical Republican. If you ask me, there's a lot of things that I agree with, and there's things that I don't agree with. I'm an independent, and when it came to the 10-year-old girl thing that the girl had confronted him on, I didn't agree with him on that. When it comes to his stance on talking about Martin Luther King and his remarks about that, no, I don't agree with him on that, especially him talking about a dead man and not talking about him in a negative way when he's not even of the generation where he can even relate to a Dr. King. So it's mighty funny that now we're seeing politicians telling us that we can't give an opinion about Charlie Kirk because of the way that he passed, but a person like Charlie Kirk can give an opinion about Dr. King, and Dr. King was taken out in the same type of fashion that Charlie Kirk was taken out. Dr. King was not a politician, but he definitely, was letting his voice be heard. He was leading the youth. He had a powerful voice, and he was taken out. And here it is. What he was taken out? 68, something like that. So here we are, 50 years later, and you did have, Mr. Kirk and several other right-wing conservatives or whatever you want to call these people that do not mind speaking on that man all kind of way. Of course we know they spoke on George Floyd like that didn't matter. You just tell who a person is in their real life. If George Floyd was a drug addict and he had suspect crimes on his record and all that stuff like that, shit, I don't think there's nothing wrong with telling the truth about a person, how they live their life. So, but it does bother me that out of all these people who's passed away in horrific ways, why is it that now you can't mention a person? You can't, tell about what you thought about a person. You gotta mourn that person the same way as people that love that person. Everybody doesn't. Certain people in this country don't think of Dr. King the same way we think of Dr. King, but they still have the freedom of speech to give their opinion. But I think the left did start this stuff when it comes to making these bills that are dedicated to these people. Like, because I believe the left had made a bill about George Floyd or something like that, but I don't think it was a bill in the form of, y'all can't make memes. Y'all can't talk bad about George Floyd. They was changing laws when they were making bills. Hey, what's up, Alima? Salute to you. But when it comes to Charlie Kirk, they're making laws. It's like they're using, and I'm not saying they're doing it, I say it's like they're using his death to push the 2025 agenda that was already on the table, that we saw that this was the type of action that they was going to kind of go towards. But we just didn't know how. They said that they were going to, that all this criticizing the president and all that stuff, that should be against the law. That's what Trump said. They want to get to the point of you can't even criticize the president. When Jimmy Kimmel said what he said, he wasn't talking about Mr. Kirk. He was talking about Trump and the MAGA. He was saying they were trying to act like this shooter could be anybody but their own. And now you got to be censored. You can't say that. You got to be, I know the Democrats, they do that a lot too. They definitely do that. But at least when they do it, it's the people who say, nah, cancel that person or whatever. It's not the government saying, I got a government position in, and we could do this the easy way or we could do this the hard way. And, I'm going to use my power of the FCC, which gives you license to operate. And if you don't talk about the person that I like the way that I like, I'm going to use my power because I'm in my feelings about something. And, I'm going to use the power of the government. And see, this is where the Republicans lose me because I like to feel sometimes I feel like I'm a Republican, but they go too right. They too right. I know I'm in the middle because I agree with I don't like big government. I don't like all the handouts. I like I like the capitalism a little bit, but I could I think we could work out a better way. Not saying socialism, but I think that we can figure out a way to balance the economy without either one of them going too extreme. But the fact that you can't, yeah, I'm a moderate, but I'm not a Democrat because I don't agree with all of that crap that they got going on. I don't agree with trying to make everybody inclusive. You know what I'm saying? I'm not hatred against just, against everybody. I'm just saying like you got to if you want special privileges, you got to build your own community. We got a society here of, men, women, and you could do whatever you want to in your bed, but if you want to go change your stuff and all that stuff like that, that's on you. But we shouldn't have to finance it. We shouldn't have to tolerate it, like in our schools and all that shit or whatever. And we shouldn't have to goddamn give you treatment of the women just because you want to be one, or treatment of a man because you just want to be one, because you want to just identify as whatever the fuck you want to. Just adding more laws and adding more rules and goddamn getting people censored about this and that because your fucking feelings hurt. I ain't with all that shit. I ain't with keep getting motherfuckers food stamps for fucking forever and all that. Your ass should get about goddamn 2-3 years. Same thing with welfare or all the fucking housing, Section 8, 3 years, 5 at the max. Like I'm not like so I got a lot of Republican values, but at the same time I would like a universal health care. I would like a program where the government helps with child care and stuff like that. I do think our taxpaying money should help, but it shouldn't enable. That's how I feel about it. I don't like the government telling me I can't talk shit about somebody. Especially when that person could talk shit about me or use me as do whatever it is or whatever. Now, I don't think I should be able to threaten people and threaten their lives and all that stuff like that, of course. But, it's a lot of things I agree with, but a lot of things I don't agree. So it's like for a person on the right, I'm not right enough for them, so I look like I'm on the left. So a person on the left, I'm not far enough left for them, so I look like I'm on the right. So I definitely am a moderate independent. And when you're an independent in this country, it's like you're in a neighborhood with two gangs, with the Bloods and the Crips. And you got two gangs that are at war, and you in the middle of it. You don't agree with neither one of them motherfuckers. Not 100%. And you keep trying to find a thin line, but every time you tell the person on the right that they wrong, they want to call you a liberal. They want to act like you over there with them niggas on the left. You like, nah, I ain't with them niggas. You tell the niggas on the left the same shit, and you tell them about their leader, they want to get mad at you and say, man, please. But anyway, man, let's get into some of this content, some of this reaction. I got some good videos for y'all, man. So the plot done really twist when it comes to this Charlie Kirk's murder. Now, it has gotten to the point where they're not even sure if this young kid that they've been blaming, they done changed their whole mindset because when they didn't know who the killer was and they thought it was gonna be a trans black person, um, they wanted the person to hang from a tree. They wanted a public execution. Now that they found out that it is one of their own, meaning white American Christian, grew up in, don't say he went radical left and all that shit. That man ain't got no leftist associations, no way, shape, or form. But they keep trying to say they did this, they did this, they did this. Man, that funeral was a straight up MAGA rally. I got to do some reactions to that, man. Man, it's so much content out here right now. I got to start doing uploads. Got to start doing uploads and talking about all of these points. It's just so many. They keep coming so fast. Candice Owens, like I say, I've never been like a big fan of, but I've never been like a hater of her. I always listen to her. She is a liar, but sometimes she tell the truth, just like everybody. Some people be lying their ass off sometimes, but sometimes they telling the truth, and you never know when to listen to them, but you'll watch their evidence. She was a good friend of Charlie Kirk because she pretty much worked for him. Once I was doing my research, I realized both of them are part of this Turning Point USA thing that's, pretty much got some deep donors. Pretty much seems like it's some kind of white nationalist group, and I found out that, hell, they pretty much got a college for this shit. Did y'all know that? Since when Barack Obama became president, and I don't think I'm gonna be able to get into the video where I learned this at, but I'm learning this from this guy Nick Fuentes. Yeah, I know y'all have heard of him. He's used the N-word or whatever. A lot of people hate him or whatever, but I listened to an interview where it was just a getting to know him, and I listened to his background, and it gave me that's him, Helima, Nick Fuentes. And I put myself in his shoes, and I understand these people, but at the same time I don't. So, and just him telling about his upcoming and everything, I understand why these folks feel like they feel. Hell, I'm a black man. Nick Fuentes said he thought it was degenerate if to have kids with another race. Him as a white man, he wanted white kids. That's not part of his shit. And I can't be mad at him because I feel the same way. I want my child to be black. I want my son to bring home black kids. It would be degenerate for me to mix with another race or what. I'm not saying it's gonna, like, you gotta take the word and not be offended by it. Gender, it would. The genes. It would. It would change the genes. So you can't be mad at somebody. Somebody want to, keep in their race, want to have kids in their race, want to marry in their race, make their race strong and all that. Black people say it all the time. But that don't mean just because you're pro-black, like I am, I'm pro-black, but that don't mean I'm anti-white or anti-Latino or anti-Asian. I can be pro-black and support of white, support of all the other, races. And I feel like a white person can be too. A white person, just because a white person say, man, I am pro-white, you can't just say, oh, you racist. No, that don't mean I hate you. I stand for my race. White man say, hell, I want my kids to be white. I don't want my daughter coming home with a black dude. Now, if he say a nigger, that's different. But if he say, I don't want my daughter to marry a black dude. I want my daughter to have white kids. Can't say that person is, well, I guess you could say they're racist, but you can't take it in a negative racist. You're just saying, hey, they are pro their culture. You can't get mad at people for being pro their culture. That's their shit. So, but let me stop running my mouth. Let's start getting into these videos. So, Candice Owens, for one, we gotta go over the new bill that was passed in Congress. You know, Congress will pass some shit real fast when they want to. Let's do that first. Let's go over that first. So, 1 second, let me pull that up. All right. Let me see if I can do this the right way. Give me 1 second, y'all. Trying to make sure everybody can see it real good. Damn it. All right, so here's this bill right here. Let me blow it up a little bit. Make it big. All right, can everybody see this? Here, let me move myself. Can everybody see this bill? I've been here. All right, can everybody see this bill? So this, let me read this bill out to y'all. Matter of fact, I think this shit got something that could read it to you. All right, so yeah, here it is.
There is one summary for H. Res. 719. Bill summaries are authored by CRS. Shown here. Introduced in House, September 16, 2025. This resolution, 1. Condemns the assassination of Charles Charlie James Kirk and all forms of political violence. And, 2. Honors the life, leadership, and legacy of Charlie Kirk.
So they introduce a bill that condemns the assassination of Charles Charlie James Kirk. Now, why would they do that? Why do you need to go through Congress, vote on it, you know, take out the time to condemn the assassination of this man and all political forms of violence? Now, let's read this text. This here was the kicker. I don't want to read it, so I'm gonna let the computer read it. So y'all pay attention.
There are 2 versions. Text available as XML/HTML.
Oh, my bad.
XML/HTML. New window. 7 kilobytes.
My bad, y'all. The screen. My bad. I'm sorry. I just noticed that the screen ain't on. All right, here we go. I'm gonna let the computer read it, and I'm gonna react to it.
TXT, 5 kilobytes. PDF, 114 kilobytes. PDF provides a complete and accurate display of legislation and law texts. For public laws and private laws, USLM text display is available in BETA. For more information, see a ref =/help/legislation text number sign text formats target =_ blank about legislation and law text /a. Shown here, Engrossed in House, September 19, 2025. H.
Sorry about all that, y'all. I should have just highlighted what I wanted it to read. So it's reading all this little bullshit. So I'm gonna read. I'm gonna just scan through it real quick and read it that way, cause that shit sound weird. It ain't that much, so I can read it. Say, where else? Charles Charlie James Kirk, born 1993, was a courageous American patriot whose life was tragically and unjustly cut short. Now, this is a bill, y'all. This is what they introduced into the House of Representatives, September the 19th. This was just 4 days ago. So this is how fast the House can pass any bill, can create any law. Because remember, the Republicans control the House, the Senate, and the presidency. They can do anything they want to. Okay. But anyway, whose life was tragically and unjustly cut short in an act of political violence on September 10, 2025, Utah Valley University. Charlie Kirk was a devoted Christian who boldly lived out his faith with conviction, courage, and compassion. I want y'all to take details of how they making sure they describe him. Charlie Kirk was dedicated husband to his beloved wife, Erica Kirk, and loving father, daughter, son, exemplifying the virtues of faith. And there's nothing wrong with these things. I'm just saying. Charlie Kirk was a fierce defender of American founding and the timeless principles of life, liberty, limited government, individual responsibility. Charlie Kirk, 18 years old, founded Turning Point, 2012, student movement, blah, 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 blah. The rise of violence against individuals for political beliefs undermines the very fabric of the constitutional democracy and chills the free exchange of ideas essential to healthy civic society. The leaders of the very level, government, education, media, and beyond, must stand united and unequivocally condemnation of political violence, regardless of the ideology. I'm sorry. So, in this thing, it calls upon all Americans, regardless of race, party affiliation, or creed, to reject political violence, recommit and respect for debate, upheld American values, respect one another as fellow Americans. It condemns the strongest possible terms of assassination. Oh, listen to this, y'all. Condemns in the strongest possible terms the assassination of Charlie James Kirk and all forms of political violence. Commends and honors dedicated law enforcement and emergency personnel for their tireless effort in finding the suspect responsible for assassination of Charlie Kirk, and urges the administration of swift justice to the suspect. It stands its deepest condolences and sympathies to Charlie Kirk's family, including his wife Erica and 2 young children, and prays for the comfort, peace, healing in the saint. In a time of unspeakable loss, honors the life, leadership, legacy of Charlie Kirk, whose steadfast dedication to the Constitution, civil discourse, biblical truth inspired a generation to cherish and defend the blessing of liberty, calls upon all Americans, regardless of race, party. I already read that. And this is, y'all, this is in a bill. This is telling you what you got to do concerning a person that passed away that was just a political I guess you could say hype man, because as long as he pushed the agenda of what it was he was saying, black women do not have the mind power. The black women do not have the mind power to be, any kind of intelligent, I guess, whatever the fuck he was saying. Y'all have to be DEI. If he get on a plane and he sees a black pilot, he has to be DEI. He can't see a black pilot. Hold on, I got an example real quick. Let me see if I can find that real quick. Yeah, I got something for him. If he sees this right here, hold up. Let me show y'all something real quick. Give me 1 second, y'all. I got something. All right, here it is. If he sees this right here, if he sees a black pilot, he automatically thinks DEI. He don't think that black people have the intelligence, the discipline. I don't know why he think this. I don't understand why he feels like even if it was in the 1930s, there was still black excellence out there. But check this out. This is my homeboy, man. He did a little voiceover on this shit. This shit was funny as hell.
Niggas, you qualified. I would like to think so. Y'all niggas have been fucking, nigga. God damn. I say, niggas, you qualified. Now here you go with the same weak ass question, nigga. I just told him I was qualified. God damn. You get this motherfucking ladder, dog. God damn, niggas always fucking with me, dog. I swear, let me get in my goddamn cockpit, nigga. Get my shit together. Hey, nigga, where the fuck you going, nigga? Answer, you qualified, nigga. Answer that one more time, nigga. Is you qualified? I ain't answering that shit no more, nigga. What you doing? Nigga, you wouldn't know because you ain't qualified. I'm surprised you know what the fucking seatbelt is, nigga. You look like a goddamn seatbelt. All right, nigga. I guess you was qualified, man. Shit, goddamn. I had to tell you I was qualified, nigga. So you just gonna take the ladder. You don't even know if nigga qualified. You just gonna take the ladder. You gonna let nigga take the whole jet. You don't know nigga qualified. I'm gonna walk with your head, but I still don't know nigga qualified. I don't know shit. They let everybody drive planes these days. Hey, nigga, is you qualified?
So to show you, just because somebody's black doesn't mean they're not qualified, and that showed, the racistness of Charlie Kirk. Shout out to my homeboy. Y'all remember my homeboy Big Ram that came on here and he did the show with me one night. Him and my other partner came up here. That's the type of content he makes on TikTok and Facebook. That boy a fool. But yeah, man. He said if he see a black guy as a pilot, he's wondering if he's DEI. But then we see all of these people in this administration, and a lot of them don't have experience. The head of the FBI, he doesn't have the experience to be the head of the FBI. You got so many people that Trump done hired around him only because they'll do what he say, not because of they're just qualified. But you got a nerve to talk about people hiring people that are qualified, but being how America is set up, we gotta force motherfuckers to give black people who are just as qualified as white people an opportunity. But as y'all can see, all this hate speech that's been going on, or I didn't think they was calling it hate speech because, when people are saying lock her up and this person should be when the two Democrats got beat to death with a hammer, and all the people who's been suffering to political violence. I mean, Trump went on a rant, keep calling Obama, saying he need to check his birth certificate. He's not from here. I recall a Trump rally where he told people to beat a dude's ass that was in the stands, the black dude that was beating his ass. Like, it's crazy that now that one of them has passed by one of their own, they're making the whole country suffer. They're saying, oh, y'all killed Charlie Kirk. We didn't do shit to Charlie Kirk. We didn't hate Charlie Kirk that much. We done heard worse. We done heard words. Charlie Kirk did not register to most black people. That's just the truth. The people he did register to, they were offended, but they probably more offended by damn Charleston White. We had our own motherfucker talking about dead people and all that. Nobody wasn't offended, but nobody hates Charlie Kirk. I mean, black people don't give a damn about him. Y'all can't get mad at us because we don't want to act like he's, you know what I'm saying, our Lord and Savior. But nah, bro, when I ain't gonna get ahead of myself. Let's get into these videos. So the conspiracies, man, these conspiracies are running wild, y'all. I'm talking about they running so wild. Candice Owens, she ain't really hearing this shit about, you know, it was just a random shooter. Everybody thinks that there might have been another shooter. Let's go to Candice Owens' video real quick.
But in the wake of...
Hold on, I'm going to play this first, and then we're going to get into Candice Owens' video. Y'all make sure you hit the like button, man. I appreciate y'all coming to chill with me. We're going to dig a little bit into more in this Charlie Kirk stuff, man. We're going to be respectful of Mr. Kirk. Like I say, every time I see the little shooting, it gives me chills. You know what I'm saying? But it seems like these people, the people that are investigating it, oh, man, they ain't got no chill. Like, it's like they like seeing this man get shot over and over. They going over the damn shooting in slow motion and shit. This shit is crazy. All right, let's get into the videos.
Charlie Kirk's murder, several conspiracy theories have made the rounds on social media, some suggesting men on the ground were giving hand signals to the shooter.
Now, that is one conspiracy that they was talking about from day one. Everybody was pointing out what those guys are doing in the background. That does look funny to me. You know, his people definitely had something to do with this. No telling who is behind this. It's more than that boy that they got taking the rap for it.
The man in the white that you just saw is Dr. Frank Turek, a mentor to Charlie Kirk, who actually spoke at his funeral service.
I start FaceTiming my wife. I'm saying, look at this. This is incredible. Then I start FaceTiming my son and my daughter-in-law while Charlie sits down and begins to ask questions. Now, this is where you may have seen an internet conspiracy. The man in the white hat was giving signals to the shooter. Yeah, the man in the white hat was me, okay? I did this with my hat. Maybe I touched my nose or something while I'm holding my phone because I'm FaceTiming my son and daughter-in-law.
Now,
ah, shit. Damn, the man was you? Well, it looked like, brother, you might have had something to do with it. No, I'm just playing with you.
Kirk went on to say that the man in black that you saw was Charlie Kirk's main security guy. There has also been speculation that a private jet that left an airport after Kirk was shot was somehow involved in his murder. A man named Derek Maxfield was on that flight, and he posted on Instagram that it was his company's plane. Maxfield wrote, "Any suggestion that the flights by N88KG yesterday are in any way connected to the tragic shooting of Mr. Kirk is inaccurate, false, and without any credible basis of any kind." So yesterday, as Charlie Kirk's friends, family, supporters, and even the president and vice president of the United States were memorializing Charlie Kirk, FBI Director Kash Patel posted on X that every possibility is being investigated. Take a look. Patel wrote, "As the director of the FBI, I am committed to ensuring the investigation into
This guy gonna get fired eventually. I don't think he ain't gonna make it the whole administration.
Charlie Kirk's assassination is thorough and exhaustive, pursuing every lead to its conclusion. The full weight of America's law enforcement agencies are actively following the evidence that has emerged, but our efforts extend beyond initial findings. We are examining every facet of the assassination. We are meticulously investigating theories and questions, including the location from where the shot was taken, the possibility of accomplices, the text message confession that I just read to you, and related conversations, Discord chats, the angle of the shot and bullet impact.
And that's where we're going to stop at with this video, because that's what we're about to get into. The angle of what the shot and impact. Now, if you seen the shot, the actual shot, and you saw it on Twitter or wherever you might have seen it at, I thought initially that he got shot in the front of the neck. And even when they're saying that this guy Tyler was or supposedly was or whatever, it looks like he got shot in the front of the neck. But everybody is doing a very close-up look, and it's turning out that Candice Owens
first
think that he got shot in the back of the neck, and she has a big problem with a camera being removed, and she wants to know why evidence is being tampered with, and she think she doesn't trust the FBI. So let's kind of scan through her video real quick and see what she's been saying and beating on the drum about. She actually was live. I was actually just watching her live before I came on, and she ain't letting up. So we got a lot. I got a lot to. I got to start trailing her.
All right, you guys, I hope everyone has been having a good Friday. What are we going to discuss today? Well, it has been going viral. A mere minutes after Charlie Kirk is shot, there are two men that look rather mysterious. They appear, they move his chair, and they take down the camera that's directly or was directly behind his head. Why did they do that? Well, fortunately.
Now, that is a good question. Why did they do that? And are they part of law enforcement? You know, but at the same time, we do know Candice Owens will, you know, she's one of them people you just can't tell her that everything just happened, you know, the way it happened. She's always gonna go the extra mile to try to see if there's some funny business. So if there is some funny business, I do believe she definitely is gonna, you know, get to the bottom of it.
I was able to establish connection with one of those individuals, and I was also able to see the footage with my own eyes. What I saw was very interesting, but what I didn't see was even more interesting. So let's jump right back into this. Welcome back to Candice. So important. And the vultures are circulating above, man. They are definitely insisting that we stop investigating this. I should at first let you know that the Senate has voted and they have passed a bipartisan resolution to designate October 14th, which is Charlie's birthday, as Charlie Kirk Remembrance Day.
I wonder if they're going to make it they say they're going to make it a holiday. I wonder if they're going to make it a national holiday. Will we get a paid day off? Because we get a paid day off, I'm cool with it. Because we don't get one for Martin Luther King Day. We don't even get a day off. So is it going to be like MLK Day where you're going to do a parade and all that shit? Because you know over time, over 50 years, all of a sudden he going to become Jesus.
And I have to say that is a very government maneuver. Like we get a Martin Luther King Day. We've got Martin Luther King Boulevards.
Hey, I got to respect her for keeping the same energy.
F. Kennedy gets a library and a national day of mourning. But you know what? You know what I was thinking? I'd like to just find out who killed them all first. That's interesting to me.
Yeah, it seemed like every time they can't tell you who killed somebody, but they'll give you a day for them real quick. It seemed like any time the government allegedly might have possibly took somebody out, all of a sudden they're going to give you a day. That kind of lets you know that they had something to do with it when they give you a day. So she got a good point. MLK Day. And I haven't seen this yet, y'all. I know that the clip is in here while she's talking about the dude moving the camera and the shot the different angles of the shot and all that. I know it's in here, but I actually haven't watched this. So she's probably going to make some points. I'm probably going to say some stuff, and then she probably going to say something I didn't even know she was going to say. But I do agree with her right here.
Who killed them? Before we give them a library, I'd like to know who did it. I think that's the best way for us to learn. The best way for us to remember is to study, right? That's what I learned at grade school. That's what we're doing right now. We're studying this and learning everything. Let's at first address what many people have been emailing me constantly, asking me, Candice, you gotta look into this, you gotta look into this, look at these two strange men. We're gonna refer to this as Cameragate. It's Cameragate. And I wanna say this, shout out to all of the internet.
But don't nobody make a gate quicker than Candice Owens. Hey, boy, don't nobody stir up a conspiracy quicker than this woman. Because, see, I got to give it to her. She was under pressure like a mug before Charlie Kirk just died. Did y'all know that? She was being sued. She's still been sued. Don't be distracted. Do y'all know who she's been screwed? I'm about to say screwed. She been screwed. Do y'all know who she's been sued by? She's been sued by the president of France because she's accusing the president of France of being married to a transformer. He's accusing this man's wife of being so ugly that she got to be a man. And she's forcing the woman to have to prove that she's a woman. That shit crazy. And if that woman can prove that she's a woman, Candice Owens is about to get sued for a whole lot of money. So really, she's raking up a whole lot of money off of this. You know, there's a whole lot of money being raked up off of Charlie Kirk. Somebody seen this.
Sleuths, the TikTokers, the YouTubers, those of you who are not playing around and you noticed this because I did not in the beginning. But yes, as I said, there's an individual who is at first in the moment just after the shooting, he's like up on the rocks near the car that Charlie gets taken away in while he's being carried away. Let's take a look at that footage actually first.
But you know what these people are going to do? All these conspiracy theories, all the MAGA people, they got sympathy when it comes to, and empathy when it comes to the Tyler guy because, you know, he looks like them. Nobody's ever going to get caught for this killing. He's not going to get convicted of this killing. There's too many holes in the boat. Because the gun he got shot with, that he shot the guy with, or allegedly shot the guy with, they're talking about he broke the gun down up there. That's how, and when he got off the roof, he put the gun back together, and then they found the gun in the woods wrapped up. Why would he leave the gun for him? Why not? You know, he was pretty much scot-free. Like, they got, the pictures don't look the same. They got other people that could have been the shooter. The direction of where the bullet came from and where they saw him at. Like, this case is falling apart before you even know what's going on. Feds looking bad. Ever since they let when niggas start beating the feds, let me shut up because I ain't beating them. But yeah, buddy about to beat the feds.
First, let's look at that footage. And don't worry, there's no gore in this episode. Difficult for me to even look at that sort of footage. Take a look. You can see Charlie's there. And one of you guys caught this. You probably didn't even see it there. And we can get in a little closer. Do you guys have it slow it down, or do you guys just want to circle here? Okay. Right there. Right there. An individual standing there. Again, I am just a...
Man, they just looking at anybody now. Oh, man. Oh, why that guy wasn't running around panicking?
Amazed at internet sleuths. As I was like, wow, that is very strange. That person appears to be calmly talking into their phone. It's like a circus around them. What's he doing? Who's he speaking to?
What the fuck? Well, maybe he like, fuck it. If I get shot, I get shot. They shooting who they trying to shoot. They ain't trying to shoot me. I would have been calm. That guy would have been me. I would have got the fuck out the way so somebody wouldn't have ran me over. I would have got in a spot where, nobody can be behind me. He got his back against the wall. He could see everything in front of him. Obviously, it's not like a mass shooter. It's not somebody with a machine gun just going around shooting. It's a sniper. He done got who he want. Hell, you might as well calm down. Nothing to see here. But leave it to the conspiracy theorists. But this ain't the only thing, though. I'm just messing with her a little bit.
Then, just a couple of minutes afterward, that same individual appears alongside another individual, and he moves Charlie's chair. That's a crime scene. That's not good. And he moves it because he wants to stand on it as he takes down the cameras, or the camera, rather, that is just above Charlie's head. That's the camera that I'm talking about on the right-hand side. That's a camera that I'm referring to, and we are going to now take a look at him. And he is also the individual, as many of you pointed out, that was near Charlie or just before the assassination. But let's check out that footage of him in the immediate aftermath, kind of switching around to cameras, the two of them. Take a look.
Out fireworks. Let me coordinate this up. Safety team is here. I just heard them say the active shooter, Charlie Kirk, has been shot.
Yeah, that is a little weird now. I can't even cap. Ain't no police, ain't no yellow tape. He ain't no detective or nothing, and he's taking the video. He knows that there's video on here. Who would even be thinking about that?
Charlie Kirk got hit, is what the security detail just said.
Don't worry, guys. We're going to get closer. But this is just a wide shot so you can see what's going on here. And then we're going to...
Yeah, but if you ask me, shit, this dude look weird. He look strange. What the hell he doing? What he got going on?
Get closer. I know you guys have pulled apart this footage a million ways, and thank you for that. And here's the closer version of that. You can see, slowed down here, he pulls out the chair, he stands on it, and yes, that would be a big no-no for a crime scene. You don't move anything. He takes down...
Yeah, I totally agree with her right now. This is a crime scene. You don't touch shit. Who are you, boy? Who paid you?
On the camera that is directly above where Charlie was sitting and would be able to provide, therefore, a lot of insight. And then you can see he kind of sits the camera onto the desk, and it looks like he removes the SIM card from it, or the SD card, if you will, which we're watching right here.
Right, because he could have just took the camera. But he wants to make sure he takes the SIM card. He needs that footage. And he looking around, too, like he don't want to get caught.
So I'm going when I saw this footage, who is that? Like, actually, I should be able to figure this out because I've got a pretty big network at Turning Point USA. The person's wearing shades. I'm not recognizing the individual.
Girl, you in the system. You talking about you got connections. Nigga, you are the Turning Point Network, right along with Charlie Kirk. Stop faking it. So she started calling people immediately. Who the fuck is this?
And I reach out to somebody on the inside, and I'm just like, who's this person? And they tell me the person's name. And I go, wait a second. And I look again. I'm like, I know this person. It's been a few years, but I know this person. This person's been around Turning Point for quite some time, for years. Like I said, back when I was working at Turning Point, early days. So I'm like, I'm just going to reach out. Obviously, I know this individual. I'm going to reach out and I'm going to say, hey, what's up with this? Where is this footage? Why did you do this? What were you doing up there on the rocks? What's up? Like, this is not the first thing I would do if I had just witnessed Charlie Kirk being shot. And And I'll say this right now. He was extremely forthcoming. Like as soon as I reached out, I just sent a text because I still had his number, and he was extremely forthcoming, immediately got onto the phone. And first and foremost, I should say, obviously he's seeing all these clips going viral and he is fearful for his family. Doesn't have any security and people are looking, you know?
Yeah. And these folks are dangerous, bro. I ain't lying. I ain't trying to incite no violence or nothing like that, but you know, I wouldn't want these folks to think that I had something to do with that shit, but these folks gonna be at your neck. They ain't gonna let you breathe.
No. And he said, look, as you can see in the footage, I was sitting right to the left or to the left of Charlie when Charlie got shot. And I instantly knew that he was not going to be okay. I instantly knew that he was dead. And I then, like, as you can see, people that are running, anybody that was in that zone, ran to the back and he caught his breath. He wanted to check in with and communicate to other people that were working with and around Turning Point USA. That's why he's on his phone, communicating to them what had happened. That's what he told me. Then I asked, okay, well, what about this camera thing? Why would you grab the cameras? And he says, because the first thing that I thought is that I better secure the footage and be helpful and hand that footage over to the feds. Well, obviously that's where things get into a pickle with me because we don't trust the feds, right? I'm like, no, we don't trust the feds. So we don't got to do that. Just let me have the footage. I'm like,
what? Hold on, the feds are mega though. The feds are MAGA. Those are your people. Hold on. So you wanted to get a president because you trusted who the president was going to hire and put in place was going to make America great again. Now that you got everything that you vouched for, you got the House that you helped get elected. You got the Senate that you helped get elected. You got the president that you helped get elected. And you trusted that everybody he was going to elect was going to be straight. Now you don't trust the people that you elect. Oh, my God. I think these people just need somebody to hate all the time. Even when they get the people that they beat us up about and tell us about, they're still not happy. They're never going to get like, damn.
just send me the footage, please. Let me look at it. There's a lot of conspiracies.
And she's trying to get the man to send her the footage. Like, nigga, we ought to know what you gonna do. That's supposed to go to the damn feds. This man ain't about to give you the footage like you a detective. Dead blacks, what the hell wrong with this lady, man?
That are floating around right now. People don't know what to believe. People are doing very, what I would say, credible videos. People that certainly have the credibility are ballistics experts that are saying that what we see in the front is an exit wound, not an entry wound. I don't know one way or the other because I'm not an expert. I'm getting inundated with messages from people that hunt, people that are in the military saying that this had to have come from another direction. This footage could help. If nothing else, let me help you. Let me formally debunk that by seeing this footage. Like, could you send this footage over to me? Well, he didn't want to send the footage over to me without checking with Turning Point lawyers. I said, look, technically, you own the footage. Like, you and some other people own the footage. Like, let me.
She trying to put this nigga in some quicksand. He get her this video, but he didn't get the feds the video. Because if you get the feds the video, you can't get her the video. Right? Unless you copied it. So is you just not telling her straight up, nah, I ain't about to give you this video, or you just making up excuses, and she's having to twist your leg? I'd have been like, shit, how much is worth to you? Yeah. And she would have came at me, oh, you gonna try to make money off of Charlie's death? I'm like, bitch, man, shit fucked up right now. You gonna go straight to the internet and show everybody, do a whole breakdown, make plenty money off of it. Let me get me.
Me just see the footage, because why go through lawyers? Like, I just want to see the footage. And also I asked the question, why not just release it? We've already seen the
Because y'all gonna attack him if he release it.
worst thing that you could possibly see from the front, right? Like, the front is what is a traumatizing video. And I understand that he wants to afford his wife some protection. Like, this has, to experience that, Erica, so many people watching the love of your life in the last second of their life, it's traumatizing. I'm traumatized by it, right? That's not my husband, the father of my children. And so out of a loyalty to Erica, he also doesn't want to give more footage to the internet. But I said, look, I'm not going to publish it. I just want to see it. And I think you should let me see that because people trust me. They know that I'm very serious about this. I don't care about anything right now other than figuring out who killed Charlie Kirk. So in the short run, he agrees that rather than send the footage, he will get onto a FaceTime call with me and he will show me the footage on his computer. He did that, and I watched the footage, and I'm going to tell you what I saw. And to the people specifically, the people that are in the military, people that know weapons, I'm telling you this because you might be able to add more color or more clarity here, what you would expect to see.
Now, when she did this, it opened up a can of worms because that's pretty much what everybody did. All the people, all the gun lovers, all the snipers, all the deer hunters, all that, they started making videos and started breaking down and making a case that it could have been another shooter from another direction. And we're about to get into that in a second. Let me let her finish her point here.
If given the weapon that they have said did this, the bullet they have said did this, I don't know anything about any of this. So I'm just telling you what I saw, okay? First and foremost, there is nothing gory about this shot at all. And so again, I am still going to work with him to get me the footage so that I think it should be shared. There's nothing gory about this footage from the back. The thing that really stood out to me, and I just kept asking him to replay it over and over and over again.
That's crazy though. Like somebody will be like, hey, play that again, play that again. How can you watch somebody that you care about continuously over and over, watch a bullet go through their damn neck? And the video that I'm about to go over, it was amazing how these people, they're so used to, killing, animals and, killing in the military, which I get that part, which I don't, but I get it. That they're numb to death. They're numb to violence.
Is that there's no blood. There's no blood from the back. There is no blood. So I think a lot of people were wondering whether or not that bullet pierced and went out the back. I think I vaguely even remember, and Skylar, you can maybe live look this up, but I thought the feds were saying they were looking for a bullet at some point, which is now very alarming to me. I don't understand that. How could they have been looking for a bullet? Because if I'm not seeing, and there isn't, I'm telling you, what happens in the front is not what happens in the back at all. If I'm not seeing any blood, what are we to take from that? The only thing that could make sense, if what they're saying is true and that person took the shot from the place that they are saying that individual took the shot from, it would suggest that it was inside of Charlie, right? And they would know that. The feds would have known that. So they would have communicated that they were never looking for a bullet. Because remember, one shot. So I'm very confused. I'm very confused, not by what I saw, but what I didn't see. Okay? That's pretty much all I can tell you right now. And I am going to try to get all of the footage. And I understand that right now he is very fearful, but I am going to continue to try to privately push him to just release it. I believe that transparency is the only way. I'm much more, I think all of us would agree, I have much more trust in the people than I do in the feds. The feds are lying about everything, so they should not be the only people that have access to this. And I understand not wanting to have that relived from another angle, but given the fact that there is no gore and there is no blood from this angle, I don't see why not. And so that's what I wanted to share with you guys. I know some of you guys were insinuating, I got a lot of emails that it could have been a flechette. I had to look that up. I don't even know what that is. I was like, guys, I don't know anything. Flechette shells, that something could have been a lot closer that hit him and that everything else could have been a distraction. All I can tell you is that there's no blood. That's it. There is no.
So do you think they're trying to say that Charlie Kirk didn't really get shot with a 30 R6 bullet? Because the type of bullet that they're saying he got shot with would have took down a moose. It would have made a big hole. It would have blew all the neck matter he had out. That's what they're trying to say. But they're trying to say he might have got shot with some shit where they could have just took that motherfucker. He might be alive somewhere, tied up, and they thinking he did. What's good, Just Jay? I don't know what they're trying to say, but they're trying to say they don't trust the feds, the same feds that they put in office. They don't trust the administration. They don't trust the shit that they responsible for. Now, I found this video. I discovered a video where y'all you might have to clutch your pearls a little bit, but it's definitely needs to be seen. Hold up. Hold up. Let me get the video. Here it is.
Ladies and gentlemen, I now...
All right, y'all. So this video here is a breakdown of... I'll just let y'all see. But like I say, viewer discretion is advised.
I have acquired proof that the FBI's official story is false, whether knowingly or unknowingly. We're going to have an entire monologue and talk
But look at all these goddamn guns this motherfucker got back here.
about a lot of these things after I show you this, but if you take nothing else away from this video, you need to see this.
And in that video, you can see the same, what appears to be the bullet coming down, and it does line up with the actual gunshot itself.
So this video was created by a friend of mine who is a Marine. You'll see him here at the end. This is the angle he is showing the shot coming from.
Now, when Candice Owens threw out that and said, hey, I need people to, you know, people that know more about guns and all that stuff, you know, to look more into this, she gave that dog whistle. So them motherfuckers came out and did a whole analysis.
Showing where Charlie was sitting and the angle of the shot, which will correspond with this video here, which unfortunately we will blur out Charlie's face, but we will show what is necessary to prove that this was an entry and exit wound. So you'll see him circle the highlighted area right there, and you'll see the exit wound corresponding after, a split second after, as it would from an entry and exit.
See, this is what I'm talking about, y'all. They could sit there and frame by frame and play this shit over and over because, you know, they're numb to this shit. But they do have a point, okay? Because, I mean, I guess it's necessary. It is necessary. But you can obviously see the exit wound. Well, I can't. You can see the exit wound right down his neck. Every time I click around here, it highlights that. But when I move my cursor, if you look at his neck, when that happens, you can definitely see the exit wound come up. So there should be a bullet casing somewhere. Why the FBI is sitting on the bullet casing, now that is a mystery.
Exit wound. So in this footage, you can clearly see that Charlie is shot from his back right, and there's blood splatter coming out of the entry wound immediately after a shot. The first arc is kind of down, as if it's just gushing out from the entry wound. And then the second shot corresponds with when his head kind of snaps forward. That fluid then flips up in relation to that motion. So you can see there's that second splatter flipping up into the air. This is something that I hadn't seen to this date. I saw this for the first time late in the evening yesterday, and I decided that this needed to be put out immediately because no one that I know of is talking about this. So big shout out to my friend who actually found this and created this video. You'll see him here in just a moment. But let's just one more time look at this shot. You see bullet comes in that circled area. You have the blood splatter go down, then up, and then immediately after, you see the exit right here with the skin being pierced, and then the exit wound emerges. And again, that is not a far distance for a bullet to travel, whatever the caliber is, whether it be 5.56, 308, 30-06, it's not even a debate at this point. It doesn't matter what caliber killed him. What matters is that the official narrative is not true. Again, whether the FBI knows or not that they're lying, But this is 100% conclusive evidence that Charlie Kirk was shot in the back of the head, and it exited through the front of his throat. All of the evidence points to Charlie being shot from his back right. Now, including this little blood splatter that we can see here against the white backdrop, the extreme hemorrhaging from the front of his neck, which again corresponds with an exit wound, the extreme loss of blood. No matter what the caliber is, that distance, that amount of meat is not enough for most bullets to expand. I mean, 99.9% of bullets will not expand in that short distance. Most of them require 12 to 14 to 16 inches even sometimes of tissue to expand properly. Also, Charlie tensing up correlates and proves that he was hit in his spine. That's a spinal injury. Any of the game that I've shot in the neck or in the high vitals where you impact the spine, the game usually drops right in its tracks because you sever the spinal cord. This is again exactly what we see with Charlie. He tenses up. His head movement also correlates with being shot in the back of the head. His head snaps forward, and then he tenses up, and you see him fade away, drop the mic, and was absolutely traumatizing video footage. And I'm sorry to have to show you guys this again, but this needs to be seen and talked about because this is going to be suppressed in the algorithm. So make sure you share this with any of your friends, your family members.
And y'all know what they said? Because the mystery is, where is the bullet? The bullet should have passed right through his neck. This ain't nothing but tissue. This is a bullet that can take down a deer. They should have found the bullet somewhere. It should have went through him and hit somebody else. But they're trying to say, even though they ain't did the autopsy yet, they're trying to say the bullet lodged in his neck. And this man had the strongest bones in the world to where the bullet is lodged in his neck. So they can't find the bullet. Man, unless they totally set this guy up, ain't no way they gonna find this man guilty. Ain't no way they gonna find him guilty. I can't see it. I can't see it. Too many holes in it. There's too many holes in it. But anyway, I'm definitely like I say, I'm gonna keep on just tapping into this Charlie Kirk thing. I mean, it's gonna change our whole it looked like it's gonna be one of those 9/11 things, where it changed the way of the way things go as we know. A lot of things changed after 9/11 if you was around before, back then. And it seems like the government is using this as a scapegoat to start creating a way that you can lock people up for what they call hate speech, which is really just, hey, you talking about people that they like, but they can say whatever the fuck they want to say to you. But, this is the wife of Charlie Kirk. They had the funeral for him in Arizona. They say it was almost 100,000 people that was at this funeral. It was like a mega rally because you had a whole bunch of speeches. President Trump spoke at it. They had all kind of military and top of the line security. I mean, it is crazy. You would have thought this man went over there and fought in the war. I mean, they didn't even do this for the Congress people who lost their life to the people who broke in their house and beat them with hammers. All they got was criticism, and accused of it being an in-party assassination by Tim Walz. It was disgusting, but I mean, hey, it is what it is. So the wife of Charlie Kirk managed to forgive him after they at first wanted to publicly execute whoever killed Charlie Kirk. But like I say, they found that was, one of their own, or somebody that looked like them. I ain't gonna say one of their own. Please don't cancel me. But somebody that looked like, one of their own.
That young man on the cross, our Savior said, "Father, forgive them, for they not know what they do." That man, that young man, I forgive him.
Yeah, see, that's how we've been having to feel for, 400 years. We have to say, Father, forgive them, for they don't know what they do. But we know they know what the hell they doing. But anyway, y'all tell me what y'all think in the comments, man. I appreciate everybody for pulling up, man. I don't want to make this live too long. I want it to be short and enjoyable and informational and, get straight to the point. So if you missed it from the beginning, go back, check it out. Tell me what you think. Do you think there is that this young man is the scapegoat? Do y'all think they got the wrong person and they are using this situation to censor free speech, to politicize and monetize every aspect of a situation like this? I mean, you can't put nothing past anybody. And I ain't talking about just the right. I'm talking about the left.
Shut
too.
up and take my money. I counted my cheese. I counted my cheese before I got the motherfucking plate. I counted my cheese. I counted my cheese before I got the motherfucking plate.
I appreciate that, Dead Blacks, man. It said good to see you live. Is don't worry too hard, bro. I ain't worried about nothing, man. I'm out here getting this cheese. Keeping my ears to the streets and, thinking of ideas and, trying to work on getting my content better and, trying to put together my plans. But Thugs Bunny, what's good with you? So I'm going to get up out of here. Yeah, like I said, y'all tell me what y'all think. I'm going to come back with some more commentary on this situation because it's interesting. I mean, I can't even lie. Charlie Kirk, I ain't going to lie, he did make a difference on how, because I respect somebody that can have a debate with somebody that they don't agree with. I like to do it my damn self. So when it came to Charlie Kirk, yeah, you might not like his opinions, but I can respect the man that can have a debate with somebody and which I think a lot of times he wasn't really trying to debate. He was just trying to get in front of a crowd, shock a lot of people with his opinions or whatever, and get the support from the people who will pretty much back him to say all the things that they want to say. But he would be able to reach a younger generation, and they knew they had to get younger because of their defeat to Barack Obama. I believe that's what was going on. But I'm not mad at the man for, being a product of his environment, just like everybody else is in America. So if you want to be pro your race, I can't be mad at you. Just don't be anti my race. And I think that's been the main problem in America. Some races can't just be pro their race and not anti other races. And I think America is concerned that they're losing their foundation, and they're panicking, and I'm going to show proof of that because I want to go over a video of Nick Fuentes and let him tell his story. And I kind of understood his story in the way he feel. He's been known to use the N-word. He's been known to, sound like a racist bigot. But when he tell his story, it gave me a better idea of who he is and why he would feel the way he feel and how he came up. So, hey, it is what it is. Before I get out of here, I did have one little video that I wanted to play of a. Never mind. I'll use that video on another video. I use that video on another time. So I'm gonna get up out of here. College ain't shit. His overall message. Hey, I ain't mad at that message. I ain't gonna say it ain't shit, but it ain't for everybody. And it's it definitely ain't for everybody. So, but anyway, y'all tell me what you think in the comments. Make sure you hit the like button, share the content. I appreciate everybody that pulled up. If you missed the beginning of the live, go check it out. If you missed my live from yesterday or Sunday, not yesterday. If you missed my live from Sunday, we did 2 lives. Go check out those lives. And I'll see y'all when I see y'all out your area.